Hey guys, Sherry here. So I have not did a video in a very long time. As you can see, I am sitting in my daughter's nursery. So I'm actually coming to you guys with an update of my postpartum. It has been past 8 weeks because my daughter will be 3 months in about a week. So let's just talk about the delivery. Well, as you all seen my delivery video, if you did watch it, if not, go look at that. But I was supposed to have a vaginal delivery, but things changed. My daughter was like 4 centimeters. She didn't want to come out, so yeah, so I ended up having to have a C-section. Although I had to be there like 6 o'clock in the morning, I didn't have her till about 8:36 p.m. that night. So I was literally in the hospital for 3 days before they actually discharged me. So yeah, I ended up having to have a C-section. So that's a quick summary of the delivery part, because if you see my video again, you will see everything else. So let's talk about the recovery. The first week was like, I'm not gonna say hell, but I'm not a person who deal with pain pretty much, and that was the worst. I mean, when they did the C-section, you don't feel anything because you're all numbed up and everything, but as far as the recovery, oh boy, I want to tell you, if you ever have a C-section, you're gonna need family support. Definitely. I had my family support. My sister-in-law came down and stayed with me the first week and a half. Of course, my other people couldn't really stay because everybody got work, got jobs, but they did check on me. So the first week I really couldn't do anything because the incision was so painful. I can barely walk, and then I think it's called anesthesia stuff that make you numb, it had not worn off. So yeah, it had not worn off at all. My legs were swollen, I was bloated, my stomach was big. It went down a lot because I am breastfeeding, well, pumping, but it's basically about the same thing. But yeah, so what else can I say? Yeah, I was bloated, I couldn't barely walk. Oh my god, when I first took a when I first had to urinate without the, I don't know what it's called, but this is a little thing they put in your private area to make you use the bathroom, because when you're numbed and all that, you can't feel yourself going to the bathroom. So I was literally peeing, didn't even know. But when they took that off as the anesthesia stuff was wearing off, and I had to use the bathroom because I could not leave the hospital without actually having to urinate. Yeah, without actually having to urinate. Some people said they couldn't go home until they had to make a bowel movement, but because my doctor understands we all like to be home comfortable to make a bowel movement, he let me go home anyways. But I did have to urinate, and when I urinate, I screamed, because it wasn't just I could just let it all out. It was like I had to hold like slowly, because that last part of when I was trying to finish, it was like a big old sharp pain right in my stitching area, and I was just like, yeah. So I couldn't really bathe myself, so my sister-in-law helped me with that. She bathed my body. At this time, when you're in pain like that, you do not care who see you naked. I mean, so yeah, when my sister-in-law see me naked, I did not even care because I needed all the help in the world. But that first week, when we came home from the hospital, and I couldn't barely do anything. I couldn't even sleep in my bed because our bed sits pretty high, and because the incision was still, in the process of just healing and everything, and I couldn't get on my bed, so I had to lay in our lazy boy in the den area, and that way. What else? Oh boy. Oh, okay. Okay, so Yeah, so I had to lay in our lazy boy in the den area, and sleep in there as well, which was really uncomfortable because I was so gassy. I felt the gas, but it wouldn't come out. Like, that is torture. It wouldn't come out for nothing in the world. So that's another thing. What else? Walking, I had to take it really easy. I was walking like I was 80 something years old. So I had to walk real slow with myself arched over a little bit. But I did a little walking every day just to kind of help with the gas releasing and all that stuff, because again, I was bloated. I did not actually make a bowel movement till that Friday, and it felt good to make a bowel movement. But that following week, when I had to go again, it was painful because I was having butt cramps, stomach cramps at the same time, and trying to boo-boo all at one is not a pretty thing. So I was definitely in pain. So the first week and a half was painful torture. And then as it went on to the third week, it was getting a little better. My sister had to go home because she has a husband and a family of her own, and so she had to go home, and pretty much I was on my own with me and my husband on our own with taking care of the baby and dealing with my healing process. So like the first week and a half when she was here, she was mainly doing stuff with the baby, you know, changing the baby, bathing the baby whenever we needed to, because you really can't bathe them that much until the umbilical cord thing comes off. Which in fact hers fell off on the third week, which was good. So yeah, so she had to pretty much deal with the baby, and then on top of that I still had to go to the doctor's appointments that week, although I was not walking the best, because she had a doctor's appointment that Friday, and then the following Monday I had to go do everything else with another doctor's appointment for just not her but for me, and then on top of that getting the baby parking permit and her birth certificate and social security, all of that in the process of me trying to heal. So I got all that done when my sister-in-law was here to help us. But when she left, of course I still couldn't sleep in the bed, so I slept in our chair, our long big chair in our room, while my husband slept in the bed, and I pretty much dealt with the baby because I know he had to go to work. So I was pretty much up and down. She was eating and sleeping like every 1-2 hours around that time. But as she got a little older, around, you know, months, she started sleeping every 3 to 4 hours or so, or wanting to eat. So by the 4th week it got better. 5th week it got better. And one thing I did make a mistake on, because I wanted to go shopping because I was tired of being in the house so much. So I told my husband to take me shopping. Okay, so he took me to the mall. But apparently I did too much walking that I had to pay for it when I came home, and I had to deal with the pain in my incision, and that was the worst because I was getting some really bad sharp pain on the right side, and I believe that's where they started to cut, so that's where it was the most painful at. So yeah, don't ever do that until you're completely healed. So as the 6th week came, it got better. 7th week I was definitely feeling like 100%, and 8th week definitely feeling like 100%. But every now and then I may get a little pain, but it's not like the first 2 weeks or that week that I went shopping and I had to pay for it that day. So yeah, it got better and better and better. And now my daughter is about to be 3 months in a week. So I am definitely past 8 weeks, I think about 12 weeks now, just about. And I feel great. I'm even back praise dancing at my church like I never had a baby. And I am exercising because I'm definitely trying to lose more of my stomach weight. Although it did go down, but I am working on it to go down a little more because me and my husband are planning to have another baby. And I didn't want to be big and then have another baby and gain more weight, and then I have to try to work double, you know. So I was just like, let me just get back fine and then have another baby and then get back fine again. And Lord knows I hope the second one is a boy so I can be done. So that is pretty much just my postpartum my postpartum video of having a C-section. Speaking of the C-section, I told my family this is something I would never wish on anybody, because I don't know, it wasn't painful, but I did get epidural. I did get the anesthesia, but I was shivering for no reason. I was just like, my arms was just shivering for no reason. I was like cold. And then when they got the baby out, she cried, of course, and I was about to cry, but they was like, did I want to see the baby? I immediately said no, because I felt like I had to throw up. Mind you, my body is open because they're trying to stitch it back, and I felt like I had to throw up, and I'm like, babe, I gotta throw up, babe, I gotta throw up. And then he told the guy, and the guy put this thing in my mouth. It's like when you go to the dentist and they have this tube in your mouth to suck up all your saliva when they're working on your mouth. And that is what he put in my mouth, and it pretty much made the throw up sensation go away. Now, you don't want to throw up with your body open, so I guess that was something they do when you feel like you have to throw up. But yeah, so just to think of it, now that I know what a C-section is, I know what to expect for the next go around, and hopefully my mind will be right, because my mind was not right when they told me they had to do a C-section instead of me having her vaginal. I was just like really disappointed, because I really wanted to have her vaginal, but everything happened for a reason. And she's a healthy baby girl. We just came from her doctor's appointment today. She got her EKG checked and her heart murmur, because when babies are born, they have a whole little hole in their heart, but that hole has closed up and she's perfectly normal. She's a healthy baby. So that is pretty much it that I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I didn't want to be very long, so this was just a quick video of a synopsis of my postpartum video, postpartum recovery, and C-section and delivery story. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright guys, stay tuned to my channel. I will probably come to you guys more videos. I don't quite know yet. Oh, the hair that I have in my head, this is Brazilian straight hair, 30-inch, and I made this wig myself. So that's what happens when you're home for like 8 weeks doing nothing. So you just buy hair and make wigs just for the fun of it. Anyways, that is all. I guess I can show you my baby's nursery. So let's do that. Okay, so excuse the stuff on her bed, because I was rushing trying to get her ready. This is her little plaything, her little bed set that I have. It's a twin bed. This is her crib with the little chair, beanbag chair, which actually goes over here. I was just using it to record. Changing station, little teddy bears and all that. This is her closet with a bunch of clothes, Pampers and diaper genie, dirty clothes hamper, and some other stuff. And then this is her dresser with her little decorations and stuff and all of that. So it's really simple. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I am going to go ahead and go now and check up on her, because she is asleep. So that's why I was able to do the video finally. And that's about it. Peace out.